continue. We have been talking about Columbus, and I'm going to show you a video about Columbus Day, which has lots of unknown words, but I think you understand most of them. Zsófi, what is a parade? Do you think? Can you explain parade for us? It's okay. So what is it, in your own words?
When you go out, and a big group of people go out and celebrate.
Yes, pass the ball to someone. Lily, do you know who is an explorer? Someone who
explore things.
Yes, someone who travels. Exactly. Give the ball to someone. This card is getting rid of something. And now let's watch the video. You have to answer 12 questions, and you have 30 seconds to read the questions, so you will know what to listen to. Can you pass the rest on, Ado, to the girls? Thank you. So 12 questions, and start reading them. Can you give one to Lily? Thank you. Okay. So 30 seconds, everybody. Okay, I think we can start the video. I hope you will be able to see it perfectly.
Christopher Columbus is all over America. There are statues in his honor, streets and cities are named after him. He's got his own national holiday, complete with parades. For centuries, Columbus has been celebrated as the brave explorer who discovered the New World.
We celebrate Columbus Day, the anniversary of that day
First
in
question.
1492, when Columbus first sighted the land of the New World, America.
But Columbus never even set foot on North American soil. His 4 voyages brought him to the modern-day Caribbean islands, Central and South America, but never to the country where more than 50 cities, towns, and counties bear his name. We rarely hear about the other explorers, who actually landed in the US just a couple decades after Columbus. So how did a man who never even set foot in North America end up with a national holiday and a permanent place in American mythology? Columbus and his arrival in the Americas is mostly introduced to kids through books, songs, or cartoons like this one.
I will discover a shortcut to India and bring back some of the great wealth I find there. And I can do it, for I know the world is round.
One of the many problems with cartoons like this one is that it taught a lot of wrong information.
Question 4.
Children were told that Columbus defied conventional wisdom and proved the world was round. But at the time, people already knew the Earth was round. Columbus actually claimed the world was smaller than predicted.
Question 5.
And he was wrong. Children were also told that Columbus's voyages to the inhabited islands in the Americas were peaceful.
The people Columbus called Indians were very friendly, and they gave Columbus and his men many gifts.
But they don't mention that Columbus and his men were responsible for the mass deaths of native people. A friar who lived on the islands Columbus reached and experienced the brutality of the conquest wrote about it. He wrote, "They forced their way into settlements, slaughtering small children, old men, and pregnant women." These details have been kept out of most textbooks from the beginning, allowing Columbus to become an American icon. The idealized version of Columbus is as old as the United States. It all began during the War of Independence when the US fought the British. The new nation needed a rebellious, non-British symbol, and they found one in Columbus. Once the US won independence, streets and cities were named after him. Columbus's iconic status was further cemented in 1828 when Washington Irving published a biography glorifying him. He described him as brave, heroic, and a genius, but he neglected to mention his brutal treatment of indigenous people. But Columbus's real big break came in the late 1800s when the country he'd never visited started experiencing some massive changes. Italian immigrants were arriving in the United States in big numbers, and they faced harsh discrimination. They were treated as perpetual foreigners and restricted to manual labor. Their Catholic beliefs opened the door for even more discrimination, so they embraced Columbus. After all, he was Italian and Catholic and already admired, so he quickly became an icon for Italian immigrants who argued that they too belonged in America. On the 400th anniversary of Columbus's arrival in 1892, Columbus Day was first brought into the school system. Schools held celebrations, and students pledged allegiance to the flag for the first time, associating Columbus with patriotism in classrooms across America. A year later, Columbus became the theme of the World Expo in Chicago, branding him America's hero around the world. As Columbus and his legend became further embedded in American culture, so did the Knights of Columbus, a Catholic social club founded by Italian immigrants. By 1937, the Knights of Columbus had gained enough influence to convince President Roosevelt to proclaim Columbus Day a federal holiday. But not everyone wanted to celebrate Columbus. While the myth of Columbus had been developing throughout history, Native Americans in the U.S. had been dealing with destruction and discrimination for centuries at the hands of all the European settlers that followed Columbus. But in the 60s, things started changing in America. As the civil rights movement demanded change, Native rights became a part of the conversation.
We've asked the government for hundreds of years to do things for our people or with our people. The government has only compromised, only given us token issues to deal with. We're here today as living factors of the problem that are still existing.
Historians started re-examining Columbus and his story, correcting the myth and including the missing historical facts. As revelations about Columbus have become mainstream, some people have rejected the holiday, as well as the man and the legacy behind it. Today, cities around the U.S. are opting out of celebrating Columbus Day. In some cities, they are choosing to celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day instead. At the same time, more than half of Americans think celebrating Columbus Day is a good idea, according to a poll commissioned by the Knights of Columbus. Most countries are formed with the help of myths and heroes to forge a sense of unity and belonging. It's human nature. But as the myth of Columbus is confronted with brutal historical facts, the U.S. will have to decide which myths are worth keeping and which ones to discard.
Let's see the answers. Number 1, what happened on the 12th of October in 1492? Zsófi, first question.
Columbus either North America.
Set foot or discovered or yes. Next one, Zsombor, in North America?
More than 56.
Yes, next one, Béda, how is the story introduced to kids?
Through books, songs, and cartoons.
Very good. Number 4, Ado, what's wrong with the cartoons?
They give wrong information.
Number 5, Columbus actually claimed the word was, Dori? Smaller, exactly, than predicted. Number 6, Lily, what were Columbus and his men responsible for? Exactly, slaughtering lots of people. How was he described in 1828?
Heroic, genius.
And maybe there was one more. Brave. Number 8, Zsombor, Italian immigrants faced
Harsh.
Discrimination.
Yes. When was it brought to the school system? Anyone? We skipped that part, didn't we? We will go back, okay? Which president? Zsófi? Roosevelt proclaimed Columbus Day. And number 11, why did some people start to reject the holiday? What happened? Anyone? They talked about how historians started to correct the facts kids learned in cartoons which were incorrect about Columbus, and they started to correct these mistakes, and then people started to reject the holiday. Number 12, Afi,
More than half of American kids celebrating C-Day.
that's Columbus Day,
Day is a good idea.
Is a good idea. Okay, I think we can skip question 9 for now, and let's talk about history, okay? I will ask you to go to menti.com, and I have a question for you. Why study history? What is it good for? Why do you think it's a school subject? What can we learn from it? And you can give more than one answer if you want to, but everybody has to give at least one. So the question is, why study history? Okay? Don't overthink it. Give your first answer, the first thing that comes to your mind. Because it is interesting to learn more about the past, to know our past. We can kind of predict the future. Who wrote this one? Why do you think we can predict the future?
Because stuff still works the same way as it used to.
So we can kind of learn. There is to learn more about your and other countries' past, because it's a subject, but you can learn more about your past, that's true. Not to make the same mistakes, who wrote that? It's kind of connected to what Ado said. Yes, and because we have to know what happened in the past. Very good ideas. Now let's have a reading tasks. I will ask you to work in threes. So Ado, please turn to the girls, and Zsombor, please join Lily and Lily. And girls, please turn to Dori. And everybody will get a short text, and you have to read it and summarize it to your group mates. And this is about the reasons we study history. And someone has to read 2 texts, okay? Because there are 4. This is extremely short, so just read it and summarize it for each other, okay? Very quickly. And let's summarize it in 1 or 2 words. What was your text about, your own text, Zsombor?
My text was about moral questions in the past. And if you read about the story that happened in the past, you can take the question up to yourself and answer it. How would you have acted
in the same or a similar situation? Thank you, Zsombor. Was your text the same? Zsófi, what was your text about, one of them?
One of them was about your identity and how you are committed to your home country by knowing your
values or history, maybe. Okay, Ado, what was your text about?
My text was about how students can relate with people from history and they gain inspiration from them.
From the ancestors we have, or from icons like kings and queens? Yes, okay. Let's move on to the next thing, everybody. Look at this piece of paper again. It has a question at the end. It's a half sentence, and I want you to finish it in your groups. And the question is, or the sentence is, I would like to be remembered as. So if you think about the video, Columbus was remembered as brave, heroic, a genius, and you have to answer the same question about yourself. So you have to finish the sentence, I would like to be remembered as, and turn to your group and finish your sentence to them. And then someone else has to repeat the sentence you hear from each other, okay? So I would like to be remembered as, and you can come up with anything, as the first student who, I don't know, anything. So, or you can come up with adjectives, you can come up with something you achieve in the future. You can talk about your sport, yes. That's what I was thinking about. Is everybody finished? Okay, keep talking. Is everybody finished? Lily, have you talked too? Okay, let's hear your ideas. Look at me, everybody. Can I have everybody's attention? Thank you. Afi, what did Dori say? How did she finish the sentence? Ado, listen to Afi.
Dori would like to be remembered as the girl who
reach her goals. So someone who reaches all her goals. It's a nice goal, Dori. Veda, what about Afi?
She wants to be remembered as a happy and positive person.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. And Dori, what about Veda?
She would be remembered as a happy girl.
So you all want to be very happy. Remember, oh, funny. Not happy, just funny. Okay. So someone funny. As a profession or just in everyday life? Oh, okay, that's nice. Zsombor, what about Lily?
She wants to be remembered as celebrities, right?
Do we have a specific celebrity, Lily?
Yes, but you don't want to share. I can tell you in the break.
Okay. Lily, what about Zsombor? Not Zsombor, Lily. What about Varga Lily? She would like to be remembered as?
She would be remembered as the happy hero.
So something similar to what the girl said. And Lily, what about Zsombor?
She would like to be remembered as a positive
Like a very positive person. Ado, what about, who do you want to talk about? What about Lily?
Okay, So she wants to be remembered as someone who doesn't break her ankles in high heels.
Oh, yes, that's a nice goal. Okay, Lily, what about Sophie?
She wants to remember someone as
She said influential.
So someone influential. And Sophie, what about Ado?
She wants to be remembered as someone in folklore and a happy and positive person.
At the same time. Okay, very, very nice goals. Okay, everybody, nice work today. Let's move on to Quizlet Live, and you are going to have it in teams. So you have to move, you even have to stand up and sit with your teammates. Go to quizlet.live, everybody. And the code is here. Yes, just a second. Use appropriate names for the game. Oh, there are the potas again. Pota. Three more players. We need 3 more players. Two more players. Hurry up, Ado. Lily, are you in? Who else is not in? Oh, everybody is in. Then let's see the teams. Here are the teams. Dori is Regina because of my phone, okay? So Pota, Jofi, and Dori. Sit with your teammates. Sit with your teammates. Okay, can we start? Look at your screens, everybody. Look at your phones. And the winner gets a 5. The winners get a 5. So there is a motivation there for you. Oh, we haven't talked about this one, natives. Is there anything with natives? It was the last word. It was the monk one. Nice. Congratulations to Jean-Boy, Lily, and Ado. You deserve your 5. Everybody can come back. And let's talk about next. Oh, I have 2 more words. I forgot about these. Oh, let me stop the music first. So 2 more words. What is Veth? I forgot to ask it when it was mentioned. Synonym. Give me a synonym. Yes, but that's a Hungarian word. What would be in English? Money. Lots of money. Money you own. And sustain, we learned about it. We talked about sustainability a lot. Sustain is... And what would be the Hungarian word? It's a verb. That's sustainability. Sustain, simply fenntartani. Any question about the words? Any question about Columbus Day? Yes. The Quizlet set will be uploaded to the classroom today because it is done and everything. Start learning them. And have a nice weekend since we won't meet tomorrow. Goodbye.